Alright, welcome back to my channel. It is Aaliyah Brixton, and we are here today with another podcast video. So for the last 18 years, Tyler Perry has dominated the Black movie industry as being one of the few Black producers who was able to capture the Black experience in film through the lens of Black people. It was an honor to many people when they saw a film that represented everything they have been through growing up. However, 18 years later, and the narrative behind many of Perry's films and shows to some have not changed as the Black experience has altered along the way. There is this idea and notion by the newer generation that Perry is perpetuating the Black experience by pulling on the traumas they have experienced, that he only focuses on the negative aspect of Black life and hardly focuses on the positive. Many people have been screaming that Madea needs to go because a Black man playing an angry Black woman only paints us in a negative light and should not be done in order to capitalize off of it. In this video, I want to focus on one overall main talking point. We need representation. Now, the biggest issue, as it appears, that people have developed when it comes to Tyler Perry and his films is that it carries a negative representation of what the Black community is about. However, I would have to say Tyler Perry has a wide range of films when it comes to the Black community and its culture. He is one of the few people who appears to attempt to showcase various forms of Black people and their abilities while also being authentic to real world issues that anyone can face. There is no set issue that only a specific race of people deal with at all. I want to focus on 4 films that Tyler has created. So his first film, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. This film came out in 2005. It showcased Madea, who was a mother, sister, and pillar within her community. This embodies for many Black people in the South a typical life for them. It was the first time that Black people were able to see themselves and what they have been through on the big screen depicted by a Black person and told from a Black perspective on how things really go down. Now, I know a lot of people, when it came to Diary of a Mad Black Woman, just from the name itself, Mad Black Woman, was definitely very, hindered by the situation. However, what I want to say is that when you do look at that movie and overall, the reason why I say that she was a pillar in her community is because one thing about Madea is that she definitely stood for something. And if she stood for nothing, then she fell. She was definitely one of those people that's like, I stand tall and proud. If you guys remember Diary of a Mad Black Woman, you remember Charles when he was cheating on his wife with another woman. Now, I can say for this particular movie, that issue is kind of specific to not necessarily Black people, but I think just women in general, because oftentimes what happens is as you move up the ladder in your marriage and your husband is, moving up the ladder and you're just a stay-at-home wife, he does leave you for a younger girl. And these things can happen to anybody. It doesn't just specifically happen to Black people. So I think that Tyler Perry getting on camera displaying that was very good, because it's a situation that many people go through and many people were probably able to heal from that and move on from that just based on that movie alone. Now, when we look at a film like Why Do I Get Married, we have to recognize that Perry was able to get a cast that displayed Black love and their struggles they all face, but not only as Black people, but just as married people. Couples, period. The disconnect between Sheila and her husband when she gains weight, the speculation of cheating with Marcus, a handsome man with a sports casting job, and his wife battling insecurities that came with the attention. Then we had Janet Jackson's character, who battled with her husband and finding herself after the death of their child in a horrific car accident. None of these characters even truly fit any stereotypes of Black people. They did, however, indeed fit the stereotypes of people who would be in their situations in the real world. They actually broke a barrier with this movie, to me personally, because I don't really know many movies that was able to cast a full Black cast showing Black love, displaying what it means to be a Black person at this particular time frame. However, yes, if we look in media today, there is a few more shows that are embodying Black love and what it means to be a Black married couple and all these different things. But at the time frame and when this particular movie came out, that was not something that I could say for myself, at least, that I had seen a lot going on. Now, another film that we can focus on is I Can Do Bad All By Myself. Now, this film particularly embodied family and what it meant to truly be a community and stand with one another in a time of need. It showed a young woman having to overcome her own selfish issues to step up and be a mother for 3 children that she did not birth. This film gave the sense of everything the Black community stands for whenever we say it takes a village to raise a child. Now, the most recent and updated film that came out by Perry was Madea Homecoming, and this film boasted a new look on the character by allowing them to have an openly gay son who the family was proud of for graduating college nonetheless. It tackled the Black Lives Matter movement, and it opted to show both sides of how we need law enforcement sometimes, but how they still treat us without respect. I don't know how anyone can say that Tyler Perry deserves to be canceled behind something like this, when ultimately all of his movies have a bigger message behind them. And if you just take the time out to stop saying that this man is stereotyping Black people and he's doing this and he's doing that, and really just sit and ask yourself, like, this may just be how this man grew up, and he's just displaying things that he's seen while he was growing up. But at the same time, he's not just focusing on all of the negatives like a lot of these reality TV shows. If you ask yourself, Love and Hip Hop ultimately has no positive ending. Baddies, that has no positive ending. It really doesn't. Bad Girls Club had no positive ending. Most of the reality TV shows that we sit here and we consume on a daily basis has no actual meaning behind it and no positive message. But you're telling a Black man who's able to break barriers and literally has his own entire studio production down in Atlanta that he should be canceled because he's able to effectively translate negative thoughts about Black people and turn it into a positive overall message that anyone is able to view. Now, over time, the world has become more sensitive to certain things, and one of those things is that they are tired of Black men dressing up as women to portray a specific character trait. However, Tyler also dresses up as Joe Simmons and plays himself in the films he produces. Therefore, what is the real issue? He carries Madea in a light that shows growth over the years we have seen her on our screen. Perry allows for Black mantras to be played out on the big screen, and I, for one, am not against it. As long as he continues to move and adjust with times, there's nothing wrong he can do in my eyes in regards to making sure Black cinema stays alive. And that's just my whole take on the whole Tyler Perry thing. And honestly, you guys comment down below. Tell me what you think when it comes to Tyler Perry. How do you feel about his films? Do you feel like he should be canceled? All that good stuff. And I will definitely catch you guys in the next video. Mwah!